TV tukole.
Alright, we are back on air. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, lads and lasses, it is the Public Universities Debate, episode 1. We do expect other episodes of this kind in this same year. So tujja kubeera nga tuleta debates buno okubaganya ebibuuzo kuno bwe kuti mu mwaka guno tukyasubirayo endala. Tukyalina sex for marks scandals, the fake degrees. So tujja kuba nga tuleta ne ba lecturers olumu oba ne ayogera university abogera universities akone ba vice chancellors if possible okubanga bajja nawo nga twogere kubanga universities ne za government zezina n'okulaga zino eza private ekyamazima tezina okukola. If Makere strikes thrice or emirundi egisukkawo mu academic year, what does it mean to the private universities and to the image of the public of Uganda at large? So asante wanyo tukyayogera ku nsonga air feeding policy naye tugenda kuba tugikomya kaawo naye tugenda kuba tutunuya ensonga ey'oku eya strikes obwegugungo obutakoma ba lecturers oba teaching staff oba abasomesa aba universities zino like mobs mu academic year tutadde tutanalabako ba lecturers kuvayo nga bagamba nti tugenda kwekalakasa naye kyambogo bo abdinaga nti bwe ba government etuukiriza bisuubizo byayo byasuubiza mu financial year no yennyini egenda kubanga abasomesa agenda kuba bavanga bekalakaasa. It is the same story with Makere University, the Ivory Tower. If government can't fulfill the promises of this financial year to meet their arrears, now yennyini twandabanga intake eddako ya August oyinza okwesanga nga kijja kuba it's a different stories. We now ask bwe zibanga strikes zino tezikoma buli kaseera buli academic year tulaba strikes bwe zitaba za mmere zijja kuba za bisale okongeza ebisale tuition increment bwe bitaba bya bisale ejja kuba abasomesa kwekakasa butabasiba bungi butabongeza allowances obuzibu vaawa era lwaki emirundi gyonna government obatevaayo ku solvinga bizibu binene. At times one of the principles of management abasoma HR nizamu ekitegeera bulungi nnyo, if an institution can't solve problems consecutive over for 3 consecutive financial years, then the eye of the viewer is able to say that that's a failed institution. Bolabanga waneno oba ku Dota TV tunakye tulemeddwa consistently nga oba kiremeddwa solvinga, then gwe ng'omulabi olyeko ogamba nti kino kigaanye kankiveeko ngende ku mukutu omulala. Government bw'eba eremereddwa ekyogaa nti egenda kubanga esasula abasomesa ate neetekako omulimu omulala okubanga igenda kubanga kyenkana kubasasula allowance ez'okulya kiri kigaanye egaanye ate ogenze ku tekigenda kwetawo obwegugungo oba tekigenda kwongera obwegugungo mu university zino. Nkyali ne ba guild presidents aba university 3 Makere University, Kyamugo University ne MOBS tukyataanya ensonga ensonga kati eri mu ddiiro ya obwegugungo obuno. Papa were kansoke eddala wuwo ekinsoseewo sigamba nti oba obwegugungo gye businga it's by choice. Obwegugungo sina kusuubira ba lecturers bo baagaye nti mu financial year no government yasuubiza nti ejja kubanga etuukiriza ebisuubizo byayo okusinga ddala eby'omusaala era ne bagaa nti bwe kinaba kigaanye bajja kubanga bateeka wansi ebikola bekalakaase. Kino mu academic year eno ba mu intake eddako tooza kigenda ku affecting academic year nga bwe kibadde osotuwa perspective yo ekyo kigenda tutwalawo mwena intake
ekisooka si nti tunyumirwa okwekalakaasa
si bwe
naye nga sometimes tubeera push to the wall nga tetulina kyakola ate ekisinga obukulu nti wetutekinga eyo direction ensonga zaffe zikolebwako kyanaku nti wetuli kati abasomesa bagambye nti tebagenda kutandika semester ejja academic year ejja yes singa government tetuukiriza kuyeyama okubateeramu salary increment yaabwe babasasule n'arya zaabwe naye ffe ng'abayizi kiba kitukosa era kyannaku kubanga ntiddemu nti intake yaffe eyinza okubeera affected. Twabaddeko mu kameeting aka management akatonotono visi nga musanyufu nti when he analyzed the private applications we have had the biggest number of applicants this year around but it is absurd nti bonna bayinza obutajoining Makerere University even after admitting them kubanga omuzadde tagenda tuulaawo alabe wiiki emu wiiki bbiri university is supposed to have opened abasomesa beekalakaasiza tebasomesa atuulaawo ng'alinze nti Makerere eggule omwana ajja mutwala mu university endala. If I'm to remind the viewers, the last time Makerere University was closed it was still the same thing. Lecturers beekalakaasa abayizi ne bajoininga era ntiddemu nti wekigenda okubeera ne luno kubanga ffe ng'abayizi tetugenda tukkiriza obligation yaffe tusasule ebisale tulipotinge ku university tutugambe nti bo ba lecturers tebaliwo tusomesa ntugira tulindamu.
naye His Excellency katono nnyo omulungi ali alaba ojja kuba enamba egyo tutayidde ku screen ojja kuba nga otukubirako naawe kennyini mu ddakiika ezisembayo twogerezaganyemu naawe tubulire ku bino obwegugumu obutakola mu government institutions oba mu government universities buzibu buvaawo. Abaana bangi nnyo abayizi bangi nnyo bali mu kuweza comments mpitirivu nnyo ku Facebook tujja kuba tuzisomawo wetu ne babaanukule so enamba yeri ku screen yawe ojja kubanga gy'oyitako mu ddakiika eyo tunaatutadde amasimu. Kanzije wa Ntende Julius ekya government okubeera nga buli lacto eringa yesinga okuleeta obuzibu bunene olw'ensonga nti esuubiza ate neetatuukiriza. Gwe tulowooza nti mugundiyo nti gavumenti apparently eringa elemeddwa okwandolinga issues ate ng'ezisinga yerina ozisolvinga. Don't you think government has consistently failed?
Well, I think I would concur with you to one extent. When pinning the government were one. Until you see, in one way or the other, these people ought to understand in TBs, but they not be solving with violence only. Okay? But they have constantly shown that by reacting after violence. When these people come out and say, you see, our meals are bad. You see, we need increment. You see, we need ABCD. Yes, of course, acting yes, but let them act. However, over and over again, balaze into their only trigger to act onto certain issues is after a strike. Kati bachifudde trend. Bachifudde trend, and that is what we can. So, someone will actually come and tell you, for us in our university, it is only after a strike that these people shall act onto our requests. So the government has made it a trend almost. For the trend until they end up reacting to issues after the violent strikes have come into play. So at the end of the day, my biggest plea would be let them try to be in the best position to react to issues quickly. Probably before even a strike comes up. Because it is a trend, and a trend is not the best thing when it comes to violence. They can only and only react to some of these things after a violent strike. They're good enough in my university, by God's grace, to that bit. But one other thing I think is never lecturers, I think they are also put to the wall. Ate, we take her to the wall, they are putting the students to the wall. So for example, lecturer wa Nagament tomorrow will not come to the lecture room. Student yes asubira jagament night was asubira tuition. Okay? Lecturer cause sit down strike, na student kakole wewe strike. Katufena katugenda ku strike. Why? Because of one person who has refused to act to our request. So I think it will be a chain and series of strikes from the lecturers to the students in the event the government does not react to some of these things.
His Excellency Amani.
Yes,
Echintu chineno. Do you think strikes zezina okumalawo obuvuyo bonana? Because yes, we know it is a constitutional right to strike if you feel
to demonstrate.
Yes. So obanga ulianga mativu, it's very okay. It's a constitutional right.
Yes.
But is it the final step towards solving problems in government institutions or in public universities? Is it the way to go?
I would not rush to say it's the way to go, but as long as a demonstration is not destructive, and I want to sound out to how police handle students.
True. We shall
when
handle
they
that
are
too.
when they are demonstrating, because everyone in the campus, even the university setting, The Republic of Uganda Constitution, it clearly states it. Everyone has a right to demonstration as a sign of showing I'm not contented. By the way, police handles students is totally bad. So I would not want to say that strikes are the major solution, but in the national setting, if you look at doctors or even judges, everyone has to first strike or demonstrate, and something can be done. So this is a syndrome that has been even inherited to the young ones. Out there, I will cite out Chambogo University. Living out allowances will be paid after quite series of up and down of ways, and we shall be ready to do it if it's the only solution and the only way to go.
Are you okay with the lecturers' move to strike in the coming intake? Are you okay with that idea?
Speaking on a personal and human basis, I would say lecturers at some point in time are really, they are fine to strike. We have paid tuition, they have taught us, they have marked courseworks and tests, they have gone further to set and supervise. Why not pay them? These are the people who have families, their children need to go to school, they need to pay tuition as well, and they also have to maintain their standards of living. So I will say it would be very good, and we shall support them. Let's go back and find when they're on strike and things have not gone to order. We shall as well join, because by the time I go to campus, I now have paid my tuition. Why don't you pay the lecturer if we have paid to get the service? And they are supposed to be paid to offer service. So why don't you pay them? That is the main issue. And where does the money go?
So omulungi alabadde otativu ojja kubanga oyita ku namba eyo tugenda kubanga tufuna feedback eyo otubulire naawe oba oli muyizi oba oli mukozi wa gavumenti oba oli munnayuganda nawe gy'oli obu strikes oba okwegugunga mu public universities obuzibu buvaamu era kyekirina okukolebwa. Hello? Sebo gyebala. Hello? Tukuulira?
Dr. TV.
Yes, Sebo.
Yes, Sebo.
Tukuulira bulungi nnyo. Tukuulira?
Yes, Mukulu Nzemenya Julius.
Yes, Sebo.
I'm a student from Makerere University.
Okay.
And I'm grateful that I'm talking straight away to the good president of all public universities. His Excellency Papa Salim Salute.
He's hearing you.
Intended as still Hosh Muna and other Chambogo University. My issue.
Yes, what's your issue?
My issue, I first up on the issue of internship policy. On the side of government students. Because these things are causing more and more havoc at various campuses. Today we've been talking with vice chancellors via social media, that's Facebook. That government is going to rather your directive to the university bursar to deposit money on government account for internship. But surprisingly, up to now, we've not yet received the money. Good enough, we had a conversation with our deputy president through our leader, and he said that the issue will be resolved. But we've not yet got the feedback. If most people are going to Kabong, Nakapilipiliti, where there are no even banks, can you imagine?
Your issue has been noted.
Another issue I'll talk of the news, I think His Excellency is listening to issues, please.
But briefly.
We need urgent reaction on these issues, please.
Okay. We've had your
another issue is about the meals. The meals, my issue is very clear. These meals will affect both private students who have been living in halls, surviving on halls, and the government students who have been living in halls just right now. Because we've been getting me, I'm a non-resident, but I've been getting all my meals in Nkrumah.
Okay, your issues
But however,
oh, sorry, we lost him, but he was talking about the internship policy.
Yes.
So Like, what do we need to clarify that?
See, these are some of the issues that we are addressing why we are not about to have an end to the confrontations between the students, their leaders, and the university management. When we came up in arms last time, issue internship was among them. University, Negamba, it has been receiving problems, remitting internship allowances to all students of the university. So nejako omugugu private students. Negamba, for them they should only contribute towards their supervision. So So we have always had confrontations during these times when the students are supposed to receive their internship money. The university management say it has always had problems. So it is only going to remit allowances, internship allowances to the government students. The semester closed on Saturday last week. Internship began on Monday. Just like Menya has noted, these students, some of them are supposed to travel even to far areas. But up to now, they have not yet received their internship allowances. All engagements with management are being fruitful. Now, so these confrontations, I do not think, let everyone fulfill on their commitments. Management is supposed to remit this money. Why don't they plan in advance and know that at least the semester is closing, then commander one agenda for internship, their money should be ready. It is unfortunate. Tomorrow I'm going to follow up on this issue, but in Tidemu, meeting allowances abana agenda for internship placements.
Hope government has had that.
University management.
Okay.
Good evening.
Good evening, how are you, sir?
This is Douglas Mugenyi calling from Mike, India.
Yes, how are you, Doug?
I'm a student at Stanford University.
Very good. We are hearing you live.
And I'm very proud that my president is on the show.
Right here, yes.
My first concern is about the lecturers grown up in age. These are people who don't appear in the lecture rooms. They send tutors, and some of these tutors, I may say they are of low knowledge. Sort of, okay, they don't understand most of these things.
That's your perspective.
So whenever we ask questions to them, they, instead of giving a positive response, at times they just move out of the lecture rooms, you get.
So you're
it's
raising
like we
the
are
issue of the age.
defeating them somehow, somewhere.
You're raising
So
the
at the
issue
end of
the
the
age.
day,
Okay. He's talking about the age of the lecturers.
Yes.
Do you find this appealing to you? If someone comes out, actually a student comes out and says that the lecturers have aged out, does it, because we know that age is old, right? But is that, how does that affect the institution, by the way?
Sometimes we believe the more someone grows old, then the more the brains enhance.
Okay, but he's like, is he right?
Partly he's right, because I don't know specifically which faculty, which area, but I believe at some point in time we need these old professors to guide somewhere. But then when it comes to a case where these are tutors or junior lecturers, and they are not taking up the responsibility as supposed to be, then something has to be done. But as well, I would encourage them to embrace and cope up with these junior lecturers. If he does not really help, go up and do some research or seek for guidance from somewhere, because I want to tell you that Chambogo University Academic Staff Association, Chiwasa, we have both part-time and full-time staff. I will not say like the National Council for Education dictates, but specifically the number of lecturers for full-time employment are always dictated upon. You find they are supposed to be this number, and part-time staff is supposed to be this number. So
the issue of the age, does it the lecturers being aging out, that how, like, does it affect the institution?
Partly I would say lecturers aging out, it affects the institution by the virtue of them not attending to students. If you're aged and you're that age of not attending lectures, then let you be phased out.
We need, like, Julius, do you find this concern? Because I find like it might be a common factor to all public universities. However, at times you might take it to the other side that if someone has a PhD and is like let's say 60, 70, in that specific course unit or specific course, he might be very knowledgeable. Do you find the question or the age question, do you find it very crucial as far as the institution is concerned? When someone is aging out, they should retire, and does it affect the institution as moves?
Well, I would not directly say yes, but you never know. With my university, it may be a different issue, because the lecturers or the professors under whose classes I have sat before, that are probably of a really substantial old age, have really dissected and sent out a lot of matter. I think it's because of the skill that they have over time attained, and probably the experience and so on. So I wouldn't say they are affecting us to the negative direction. They are really important. But when it comes to the fact that they are not attending classes because of age, then that is a problem.
Okay, just a bit less. Hello? Okay, we lost him. So, okay, you are still saying?
Yes, so I was just saying that you see, at the end of the day, if I told these people are affecting the university by virtue of not attending lectures or not coming to go ahead and lecture in lecture rooms, that is a big problem. However, if it is because of age, I don't really think it's...
His Excellency, Papa.
Yes.
Do you find the age question, because I found, by the way, he raised a good point, but do you find,
experience,
because this is an issue of university is like, let's say, it's where like we are teaching grown-up people, you understand?
Yes.
You might find that someone is 30, 40, and of which it's very okay, but do you find this age question whereby a lecturer is aging out, do you find it very crucial, like for government to look into it and at least they retire these aged out lecturers? Do you find it very crucial?
These being public institutions, I believe government has a set age at which some their employees are supposed to retire. But we are experiencing challenges when it comes especially to the universities, that these are people your universities finding difficulty to let go. You let him go and the replacement is going to become a problem. Because I have seen scenarios even at my own college where a lecturer, a professor leaves and the replacement is going to take a lot of time and it is, the replacements would be available, but now it also comes to an issue of their being exported to other countries. They are going to look for greener pastures. They see that what is within the country is not sustainable for them as professors.
I thought age should, in this matter, like signify experience. I thought
no. Yes, it signifies experience, but there's a set retirement age. When someone comes of age, they must retire. But now the problem we are telling is that the university finds difficulty to let them go because replacement becomes an issue.
Okay, we have a caller. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Good evening, dear. How are you?
Good evening. I'm okay.
Okay, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Namuli from Chambogo University.
Yes, Namuli.
I'm so glad that my guild is there.
That's right.
So,
from you, yes.
me, I would like to emphasize on the issue of the living out allowance. So, I have been on government and I know what it means to wait for the allowance fee. So, most of our parents think that it's there, we get money from there. So, they pay hostel, but they tell us that, you know what, they're going to give you money for allowance. We will be using that to cater for all what you need, coursework, what. But you may find you're getting your allowance when the next week is your beginning exams.
Okay.
That thing is so hectic.
Yes, normally your issue has been noted. So she's from Chambogo University. So the issue of like they vote what allowance?
Living out allowance. That issue is so regrettable because you find most of the times they are supposed to get the living out allowance for semester 1, but they are even getting it towards the end of semester 2 of that academic year. And why? I won't rush to call it poor planning, but the choice of priority of the top management. I'm so sure with the past leadership, it has not been followed up to, but I believe a leader, every choice for priority matters a lot. If these students report from home for semester 1, their parents expect something to be given to them. Perhaps these are the guys, when they come to campus, they expect to be given money for feeding, that is the feeding allowance, and then they expect to be given as well the money for rent. You'll find even the money that they give, or the money that delays the 200,000. If you move around Bana, you find the double room goes up to 0.5. So the money given is little, it again delays, and you find students are being disturbed. But I think that will be noted with concern. This time around, we shall try and follow up on time.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, gentlemen, thanks for your time, and it's been a great debate indeed. But before we get into the course of the show, just like 1 minute, just like your closing remarks from each. Like I'll start with you, His Excellency. Your closing remarks.
Thank you so much, Delta TV, for this opportunity. We are so grateful. I believe when we're here, the students out there can be able to get to get to some information they didn't know. And to the viewers out there, let's keep hopeful. But I would want to tell you that most of these public universities, behind them there are some things that you don't know. It's so much of political than you can think. You'll find the reason as to why IFMIS was brought, most especially, you say it was brought to curb corruption. But in the end, you'll get to know that it was brought in for the government to take full control of all the resources. That is why you find they release money in quotas. When we pay tuition, they don't disburse all the tuition to the university accounts at once. They disburse it in quotas. Quota 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we are hopeful. We are your leaders. Come to us. As long as we know issues, trust me, we shall be able to iron them out. And whatsoever the university or the government feels sorting out things by dialogue is not enough or sufficient, we shall go the other way round. We pay to receive the service. The lecturers are paid to offer the service. And I believe we are the largest stakeholders. So we need each other to ensure that the university runs in a smooth manner. Thank you so much for the opportunity. And to all viewers out there, thank you so much, Chambogo University, and the other public universities. We thank you so much. May God bless you. Thank you.
Okay. His Excellency Amanya Jamal. His Excellency Julius, your closing remarks.
Well, thank you so much, Moses, to the students of MOBS. It is a great honor to really represent them and represent you so much right here. But I would still, in the same manner, request whoever is in charge of deliberating issues that concern students to take them seriously.
True.
This is because in the university, these are the key stakeholders, without whom we believe the universities wouldn't be there. And also, we are trying to make the country a better place for us to be in. And we can only do that if at all these people that are being groomed from the universities are actually catered for with keen attention. So whoever is in charge of making issues that are deliberated on behalf of the students, please make sure they are made for the better. And back to the university students as well, remember it is our mandate again to put this country to the level we want it to be, because it's our choice anyway. So amidst all these things, I think at the end of the day, we really have to strive in there and make sure that we get the very best out of it. Maybe before I could go, my UID coordinator, Podest, was telling me tomorrow we are having a UID reunion in Makere.
So
in Makere, I think the rugby ground. So UID people, let's all be there from the entire country. However, thank you so much for the opportunity, and we pray for another.
Okay, that's very good. Papa Wele, His Excellency, your closing remarks.
Thank you. I'll just build up on his last point. I may not be subscribing to the UID, but yes, tomorrow Makere University will be hosting all UID members. It's a reunion at Makere Rugby Grounds, and I implore all those who can to come and attend. My plea is to all stakeholders, let us see that we meet our obligations so that we ease the work of each other. Because it becomes unfortunate when one of the stakeholders wants to make the others look as if they are not doing their role well. This is a university where we all need to act, and I believe if we all fulfill our obligations, then we shall not have these endless confrontations here and there. So the students of Makerere University, I promise that I'm going to follow up on the issue of internship allowances, and I believe at least let me give myself until the end of tomorrow to say that this issue is resolved. Otherwise, thank you very much for the opportunity. It has been an engaging show, and the viewers out there, we thank you for having taken your time to make sure that you give us a listening here. Thank you.
Okay. Maybe before you go, is Papa already coming for the UAD reunion?
Oh yes.
I think it's very
being hosted by my constituency, so I'll be there. Yes, I'm going to be attending. Although I do not subscribe to the party, I'm going to be there.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, lads and lasses, there you are. This has been episode 1 of the Public Universities Debate. We're looking forward to having another one on the sex for Max Kanu. I know all public universities are facing this challenge. We've been investigating or probing onto this hazardous and vicious act in these public universities. But we ask, when will this end? This will be in episode 2, so very soon we shall be announcing this, and we're glad that whenever we host or whenever we give a call to these good presidents, they respond, they turn up, and they are really cooperative. I must say that you're cooperative guys. Let's really keep up with that zeal and that heart. It will take us somewhere. But from us, from the crew I've worked with tonight, B.A. Smart, my graphics and camera operator here, Umal on the camera, John in the control room, it's been a great time having you, and whoever has participated into this conversation, you can continue engaging us on Twitter at Delta TV Uganda, Facebook at Delta TV Uganda, Instagram at Delta TV Uganda. We can continue interacting and having this chat continue on all our platforms. You can follow me up on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, wherever you want. It is Wamala Moses Ross Passenger. Anyways, it's been a good time. Ladies and gentlemen, episode 2 is coming. This is WEESIBE Delta TV, where education and reliable matters. So, ladies and gentlemen, have a good night. Nice having you.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Yes.